Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I'm going to be talking about the attachments in Battlefield Hardline, how they modify your weapon, and some of my favorite combinations. Now if you would like the specific numbers for how each of these attachments modifies your guns, I'm going to put a link in the video description to simthick.com, and there you can pore over the charts and analyze to your heart's content. This video is going to focus on the overall function of the attachments and which weapons they combine well with. Let's begin with the barrel attachments. You're going to see a lot of familiar names from previous Battlefield games, but these attachments now affect the guns in different ways. Let's start off with the compensator. This now reduces your vertical recoil significantly. It almost cuts it in half. However, it does increase your side-to-side recoil a little bit, and it also reduces your accuracy of your automatic fire. So basically the bloom of your bullet spread is going to increase a lot faster when you have this attached on your weapon. It's great for weapons that you're going to either tap fire or have insane vertical recoil that you need to compensate for, like battle rifles. Next we have the muzzle brake, which reduces all of your weapons recoil, but it especially reduces your side-to-side recoil. Your spread reset also becomes fast, so it's good for burst firing with weapons. At the moment there's not a lot of weapons in the game that really suffer from extreme side-to-side recoil, so maybe in future expansions we'll see the muzzle brake become a little bit more useful. Either way though, there's no negatives with the muzzle brake, so you're only going to make your weapon better by equipping it. Next we have the heavy barrel, which is all around a great attachment. It reduces both your vertical and side-to-side recoil. In addition to that, it improves the overall accuracy of your weapon, reducing the actual bullet bloom from the beginning, so you're going to be taking more accurate shots from the get-go. Next we have the suppressor, which is the ultimate attachment for attaining that stealth gameplay. It's going to keep you off of that mini-map when firing your weapon. It's also going to reduce the sound of your weapon, making it harder for people to locate you just based on hearing you. And it's also going to get rid of the muzzle flash on your weapon. The downside is that it reduces your muzzle velocity closer to around 300 meters per second, depending on the weapon that you attach it to. This is going to mean that if you have a gun that's good at long range, all of a sudden it's going to be very hard to hit your targets at longer ranges across the map. This just means that you're generally going to want to put it on a weapon that you're going to be using in medium to close range engagements, as you will really reduce its effectiveness at longer ranges. Now the flash hider is about as simple as it gets. If you love the performance of your weapon, you don't want to change it in any way whatsoever, but you want to get rid of that flash, get the flash hider, pop it on your gun. It doesn't do anything other than remove the flash. Now let's check out the underbarrel attachments. We have the angled grip, which reduces your first shot recoil by 1/3. Now on most weapons your first shot recoil is significantly higher than any of your follow-up shots. If you have a high first shot recoil, it can actually throw off all your follow-up shots. So you might be aiming at somebody's head, you take your first shot, it hits, but it recoils so hard that all of your follow-up shots right after that go off target, your target turns around and wastes you or has enough time to get away. So this can be an issue, and it's actually a really important thing to consider for any high recoil weapon. Next we have the vertical and ergo grip. This improves your accuracy while hip firing and moving while aiming down sights. Pretty straightforward. If you like to run and gun or shoot from the hip, this is going to be your attachment. Next up we have the stubby grip, and the stubby grip is going to basically improve the accuracy of full auto fire on any weapon as long as you're standing still. You will not get any benefits from this attachment if you're moving around. Now the extended magazine is back in the Battlefield franchise. It kind of skipped over Battlefield 4 and now we get it again in Hardline. This time around it adds about 5 extra rounds to say your average assault rifle or carbine, but it also has a pretty big negative side effect. It reduces your hip fire accuracy and aiming down sight accuracy if you're shooting and moving at the same time. It actually affects it pretty significantly. The laser sight is also back. As long as it is turned on your weapon, then you will get increased hip fire accuracy while moving or standing still. The downside is that it basically gives you a bigger visual signature. There's some sort of glowing red light, or you see it through the smoke. It's going to be much easier for your opponents to spot and shoot you. Now let's talk about some of the top combinations for these attachments and what weapons they work well with. I like to use the heavy barrel and vertical grip on just about any weapon that I'm not too familiar with. It basically won't give me any negative side effects, and it'll improve my recoil and accuracy. It's generally speaking a safe way to customize your weapon, and once you get more familiar with how it recoils and how it controls, you can get a little bit more specific. Now say you want the ultimate accuracy for your fully automatic weapon that doesn't have a lot of recoil. Well, the heavy barrel and stubby stubby grip is a great combination for this. I love using this combo on the M16 and M416, two weapons that are already easy to control. They're just going to get more and more accurate. If you put the heavy barrel and stubby on here, they're going to be unbelievably good at those longer range engagements, provided that you're not moving around while you fire. Now say you've got one of those crazy battle rifles that's got a ton of vertical recoil and it's really hard for you to control. Well, putting a compensator on there and angled grip is some of the best vertical recoil compensation you can get in the game, and it is a great way to tame some of those higher caliber weapons. The only downside is that it's going to take you quite a few kills before you can unlock these attachments, so you're going to have to put in your time grinding out a fairly difficult to use weapon before you can tame it. Now if you want to build a weapon that's great for hipfire, using a vertical grip and laser sight is going to be the way to go. Very similar to past Battlefield games, it's going to improve your moving accuracy and your hipfire accuracy. You can also put the muzzle brake on there if you have that as an option, and that'll actually improve some of your hipfire recoil as well. Now if at some point you run into a weapon that has really high side-to-side recoil, the ACWR G36C have decent side-to-side recoil, you can put a muzzle brake and stubby grip on there that will try and combat some of the side-to-side recoil tendencies in weapons. However, there just aren't too many right now. But that's not to say we won't be seeing weapons that do have high side-to-side recoil in future updates. The muzzle brake alone can be a great attachment for using on, say, the K10 or the P90. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for this attachments guide. I will be going over specific attachments for specific guns when I do weapon reviews later, but this should be enough to get most of you a pretty good head start on what you should be using for what guns. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.